Hello, and welcome to a new series, this time focused on the moon. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video and any within the series with your friends and loved ones. Comment beneath, like the video, and turn on the notification bell so you can hear when I release new things. Please send me an email if you would like to have a personal reading of your birth chart. This is my great passion and I love doing it, so thank you so much for tuning in. It brings me so much joy to share this amazing art science with you during this new Aquarian age that we're in. The moon is at home in Cancer and at home in the 4th house, so these are themes of family, mother, home, the heart, emotions. So I hope you enjoy this exploration. Hi, Moon in Pisces. Welcome and well done for waiting all this time to hear your own reading. I know that it takes a lot of patience to be a Pisces or to have Pisces placements because you're usually left to last. And this also applies to you if you have the moon in the 12th house, and I've come across a fair few people with this 12th house moon recently. And it applies to you if you have the moon conjunct Neptune. Neptune at the moment is in Pisces, so a lot of dreamy themes will be being activated for you with this placement, and it's worth paying attention to your dreams at this time. For anyone with a Pisces theme, but for all of us at the moment with Neptune in its home sign of Pisces. And it's interesting when you get that combination of the moon, the emotions, and the dream world of Pisces. And dreaming is not just a mental activity, it's not just a processing of the day's activity, it's also a processing of the emotions. And what do your dreams show you? Who is in your dreams and how coherent are they? How much do they split off into other realities? How much is it like an inception type thing? How much do you remember them? Do you remember your dreams or not? And it's very interesting to know that we're all dreaming, it's just some people don't remember them, and there can be reasons for that. There can be judgments against the dream world, as if it's somehow a waste of time, or it's very, very confusing, because the Pisces thing is right at the end of the zodiac, and we're not quite there yet as a species. As in, we're not flowing like fish, whereby we can all swim alongside each other without harming one another, without touching one another, without taking things from one another and causing each other harm. And there's a smoothness to the way that fish move, and a peacefulness and a silence, and it's very, very alien. Like, we don't know much about the bottom of the sea. We do not know very much about what happens in our oceans, other than we've damaged the bits that we can find. But there's a whole world down there in the depths, in the black. And if Scorpio is really a plug hole and it really takes us down, then Pisces is really the deep, deep, deep ocean. And it's that place that that the pressure down there makes it similarly vacuumy, like space. So where's the distinction? Similarly full of alien life forms. And very scary for us if we're coming from a matrix perspective of things looking and feeling and sounding a certain way. Then moon in Pisces is not only feeling what the collective are feeling and feeling what the animals are feeling and feeling the earth, but it's feeling deep space, and it's feeling things that it can't quite grasp. And the problem with the little small ego child human thing is that we need to put labels on things, and we need to create stories. So we start creating stories about monsters because we were also containing, say for example, feeling the fear of your mother that she never really processed towards her parents, and then you're at the same time feeling something coming from the earth which is giving you a piece of information, and then you're also seeing something on the television which is giving you a story, and at the same time you're trying to have your unique experience of who I am. And it can get really confusing and really lost, and this is the ultimate individual placement, because it's really about discerning what the hell is me, what the hell is not. Come to the realization there's not really a me. And to be honest, the fear that mum's feeling from her parents is just the unprocessed fear of her parents that they felt from their parents, who they also were just feeling from the earth and feeling from the general anxiety, because we've missed the train, guys. What the hell happened? You know, there's general confusion when a plan does not go to plan, or the map is lost and we don't know why we even went on the trip. That's where we're at as humanity, is coming back to the discovery of the point, what the point is. And as a Pisces, you're just so rich and vibrant and in touch with so much, and so much intuition is at your fingertips. And then so is so much ego because you've had access to every single individual ego you've come across, and then you have this shape-shifting, especially with the moon, shape-shifting quality where you can tap into this and tap into that, and it's all really wow. But then how much does that make you feel sick with disease, with an uneasy feeling, to the point where you then have to really hold on and create and cultivate an ego that makes sense. And I've seen this work in many different ways depending on what's happening in the rest of the person's chart, because some signs like Pisces and some signs they really don't work with this energy, and the Pisces moon can get judged for that, especially when they're not just feeling a lot. Like water signs, they feel a lot. Cancer feels a lot all of the time, many different things all of the time, changing. It's generally about me though, whereas Scorpio is feeling deep things about the soul, deep things about darkness and pain, but it's still fairly personal, tapping on the collective and definitely tapping into the people around it and getting confused about what is it and what is not. But with Pisces, it's almost impossible to know what exactly you're feeling, because you just feel, especially when the general anxiety on this planet is so extremely high, then it's very hard to be able to tell where you fit in that mix. So know that your intuition will only be as sharp as you are at not identifying with what you're feeling. And writing is very good, and know that you're channeling. Know that all humans should realize most of the time it's channeling stuff. Also know you're full of emotion that came from somewhere else, which can affect the channeling. So as an empath, be careful about being very decisive about what you're putting down, pen to paper. There's a big thing about doubt with Pisces, about not knowing who or what is. Just see it for what it is, what is presented in front of you. When you write, is it me? Is it a light spirit? Is it a dark spirit? Is it something from the past? Is it something from my memory? Is it something purely emotional that I've picked up on the bus? Doesn't matter. Just write, just paint, just draw. And then you have something in front of you to look at. Then you can assess, how in harmony is this? Because we all know what true love really feels like. Deep down, we do know. We have a very, very huge industry about pretending something is loving, but generally, most things on this earth are not very loving. And you're going to know that when you look at that paper, right, well, this is out of harmony with love. This is out of harmony. This is out of harmony. But until you write it down, until you get it down and out of you, you're going to be very, very confused to even be able to process these things. And many times, don't talk to a person about it. Talk to yourself. Record yourself on a dictaphone. Find your own voice. Get it to come out, because the moment that someone else is there and you're presenting an information to them, they will put their own overlay on it and they will label it and they will try and neatly put it in a box for you. And you might love that, because finally someone's given me a steady footing to go from and it makes sense. But you're here to feel everything, and you don't have time to make the judgment call, and you don't have the ability to really judge something as right or wrong, but you can see, you can start to feel, this is taking me off my course now. this has brought something up for me. I don't know what it is, but I need to feel into it. And it doesn't need to be getting lost in a story about the past. You know, this is just extra information, extra stuff for the Pisces to feel that adds other layers on, just as that other person was. So it's much better just to keep it pure, just keep it pure. Keep your environment clean, keep your body clean, fruit and veggies and things to clean you. And then you can also be aware, well, I'm also feeling shitty because I'm detoxing. And I need to just be acutely aware all the time. You know, Pisces and Pisces moon in general, they're not here to be these like great, huge public figures and these people with big careers. That no, you're doing the work just by being, just by feeling subtle, so small, the sort of thing that no one would think anything of. But it's so important, it's crucial, because you're sowing the seeds for the future when we will be much more in touch with emotion. And if you've dealt with these things, then down the line, the future generations will have some sort of path to know where to go. This is the thing with the transcendence of the ego. This is kind of like the artist who dies without any recognition. Most of the work you're going to do here is not going to be for an applause. So, for example, Leo sun with a Pisces moon. The Leo is probably going to win out to try and just fulfill its needs to shine, you know, which is something that a Leo sun will need to do. But in terms of the emotion, there needs to be this subtlety going on beneath the surface, as this stuff is just delicately dealt with and delicately felt through, and it's not exploded onto other people and projected, and it's also establishing enough of an egg, enough of a sort of capsule to say, this is how much I'm going to let into my space for now, and I'll deal with this stuff, and then little by little it will work through me. But there doesn't need to be any kind of rushing, and there doesn't need to be any kind of acceptance of external pressure to do this. And it's beyond society, it's beyond what we've stipulated as the terms of how we're going to be as a human race. And these are the tiny little seeds, the tiny little nuggets of pearls of wisdom that the Sagittarius down the line is going to pick up and say, look what I discovered, I found this thing that was left here by something, some alien, some creature, which I found, you know, and it will be such a grandiose thing. But for the Pisces, it's just like this quiet humming in the background, and just I know what's going on, but they don't have the ears to hear, so why waste my time explaining? And instead you just start feeling and processing, and inadvertently you are leading by example, because people are observing what you're doing, and then they can start to see, oh yeah, I can have an emotional experience that's much more like this. It's much more fluid and flowy, and things are not blocked. Because that's the other thing with the Pisces, is with any sign that feels a lot, is trying to just disassociate and block. And if you're one of those people, then really get into holotropic breath work and get into things to scream and shout and let it all out, to release it, because holding on to it is not going to help anyone. And that's not something you want to be teaching to our future generation, that holding on to emotion is healthy, because it's not. It's energy in motion. It needs to move, it needs to shake and be released, and that can only be done with your will being activated, and then the will activates the permission to let it flow. It's so delicate, and it's such a I don't have the words. I'm too grotesque, I'm too crude to deliver this information, because it's like the finest of sand. It's just so airy, and you blink and you miss it, and it's the fairy that came and stood on your shoulder and nobody else noticed, but you noticed and you felt it. And there's no point trying to engage other people in this, because it will just be misunderstood. So it has to be an internal, personal experience, as all emotional experience should be. It's just, well, me with my stuff, you with your stuff. Vipassana. Do some meditation that sits you in silence and keeps the fucking flies away, you know, just keeps the flies away, so you are able to focus on your work. And it's such a tricky balance, because it's also respecting other people's space. That's the other thing, is just because you're in your bubble, in your world, doesn't mean you can't then interact. Doesn't mean that then you're zoned out and lost in emotion and lost in deep space. No, function. That's it. Process the emotion and function at the same time. It's flowing through you. But I'm doing the dishes. But I'm still doing the dishes. You know, and that's the thing with the disidentification. It comes, it surges through you. You might need a moment to feel a little bit queasy, and then it's gone. But when we feel something come in, and then we go, no, 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 not today, and we hold it in, and then what do we have? Well, we have that, and we have that developed over time, digesting inside of us until the day comes. But funnily enough, when we do that, and we say that to ourselves, the day never comes, because we never give ourselves permission to actually feel these things until we do. So, yeah. Get in the water, talk to the elements, talk to yourself, and trust yourself. And this doesn't mean then, I have to deliver a message to the universe about the aliens coming. I need to tell everyone about this new diet that's working for me. It's like, whoop, just let it work. If it's working, it's working. If the aliens are coming, they'll come. It's just like, okay, I've got that information. Let me just, There's no need to go running, and we have that in the world of the mummies and daddies and family type things, where we need to go running inside to show mummy the worm we found, you know. And it doesn't need to be like that. It can be much more private and much more personal, with that little smile with the universe, that little internal cosmic giggle, and then you're dancing. Then you're dancing with this energy instead of it completely dragging you around by your hair. So, yeah, please contact me if you'd like a reading. Again, like as with Aquarius and Capricorn, it can be tricky to handle the moon and emotions in these later signs, which are so much more transcendental and up in deep space, and the moon being so close to home and personal. And yeah, there's a lot of emotional work to be done in releasing, and then there's a lot of relaxing into emotion to happen once you've released a lot and you're open, because then you're open to not just the negative, but the very beautiful and positive emotions that are then allowed to flow through you as well. So it's all good things. The only way is up.